law.
Yeah.
That Tuesday, but nobody knows about it. The lawmakers in our state, they approved a $10,000 pay raise over the next 2 years, but nobody knows about it.
For themselves?
For themselves, yeah.
The House?
What? Every lawmaker in the state. I think in the...
I thought they said they agreed not to give themselves a pay raise. When I saw the news...
They get paid like half of what teachers get paid. The House and Senate. Have you looked at their salary report?
Yeah, I think the average was between 36 to 46.
No, the House reps? They make like...
Well, no, not necessarily the House reps. I don't know, but like some
our
of the...
state representatives make like $10,000, $15,000 a year. They make nothing.
Because the legislators...
No, on average, throughout the state. So that includes, because there's a lot more in this county.
Well, like city council make way more than people working at the Capitol do, for example. Yeah. And like, there's like ranges, but nobody, I mean, federal level, they make bank, but there's this thing that politicians make money when they really don't.
But like, I just think as like, as an overall, it's like, we watch the news and we're like, oh, how did that get voted down, or how did that pass? And it's just like, okay, but no one's really active in their community. They're not electing the people who are representing them. No one really cares about it, you know what I mean? And people aren't instrumental. I mean, there's some are, but most aren't. And like, as I'm just sitting back and we're talking about the police and, you know, they're foul and they do this, I think the police directly represent us.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of them are, you could say some of them are bad, some of them are good, but there's no direction. You know what I mean? I just think like it's like there's not going to be any dramatic changes, and I think unless people come together and start being educated about the world around them, nobody is really focused on that. I mean, like I sit and then I see a lot of stuff like on the news on a national level about like Congress and, you know, and the House, and it's like, I can't control that, but I can control what happens in my neighborhood. Definitely. You know what I mean? Like, where I live in the McKinley neighborhood, I can control that. I can get some people around there, and then maybe we can, you know, as a community come together, and a neighboring community can see that, and then, you know, North Side is going in one direction. Yeah. But it's just like, you know, it's like we have a 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and there's nothing ever going to come together with that kind of way.
I feel like we get a brain drain, too. I feel like this brings full circle to the first question. Yeah. How do you contribute to positive change in your community?
And what you said about how we're all screwed, that reminded me that Bree and I brought up, like, apathy, about how, like, I feel like the reason most people feel like they don't want to contribute to change is because they feel like they don't have the power to make a difference, you know?
No, I mean, we do, but I mean, as this moment in time, things are screwed up. They are, and I'm gonna be realistic. I'm not gonna say we're all doomed. We should all just die right now. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes, you know, how many things I look at and I'm just reading and I'm just shaking my head like, okay, we're taking like a step forward and like 5 back. You know what I mean, with things, and it's just like, okay, this is backwards. Like, we're fighting for this over here. This is a big deal. You know what I mean? Who gives a damn with who's sleeping with who can get married? What does that have to do with me? You know what I mean? Like, I'm still broke. I still struggle to pay rent. Why does everyone care about, like, I think that they should be able to marry whoever, but it's such a big, people are so passionate about that, and there's people out here homeless, or there's these veterans who aren't getting benefits, or these people who are getting money under the table, but nobody's really passionate about that. Because it's really but the Bible says that you know, you two can't sleep together. But I mean, like, how does that affect me? That doesn't affect. I don't care. Right. Unless a gay couple comes and robs and kills me, then I don't care. But I mean, like, that doesn't affect me anyway. Let them do what they want to do. Everybody has their rights, but it's just like we sit there and we argue about people who don't affect my life. Okay, this woman wants to get an abortion. Let her go have a damn abortion. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that abortion is going to affect my bills or my education or my chance at education. You know what I mean? And it's just like, we're so passionate about the wrong things, and it's just like, oh, for real? Like,
what do you want to say?
I have a lot to say about that, because I feel like, okay, what the media says is not necessarily how people feel, right? So, like, the reason why the whole vote no, gay marriage, it gets a ton of media, right? Because it's like, it's a social issue, so it's not like, it doesn't, I mean, it matters, right? Yeah. It totally matters. Yeah. but it doesn't really, like, it's not threatening in the way that money is threatening. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also because gay people can live, there are poor gay people and there are rich gay people. So, like, because they're, like, gay people is, like, an interclass sort of thing, like, you can get a lot of funding around that shit. You know, in the same way, like, I worked with Minnesotans United last year, and in some ways, like, I had started off working on voter ID campaign, and we had no money, no support, we couldn't get any media coverage, and I moved to MN United because, like, I believed in, like, their strategy and leadership development, blah, 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 whatever. And it was frustrating because they were able to raise, like, so much money so easily. You know, I was just like, man, I wish organizing was always this easy. Like, you just do one little thing and, like, 20 places, like, cover it. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like this past state legislature, like, legislative session, we passed a lot of shit that was really, really progressive that absolutely affects you. Like, your, like, wealth and education and everything. We just passed, like, one of the most progressive education bills. Like, we just added, it's like $4 billion or something to, like, public education, like, extended pre-K education all day, or, like
all day
preschool tuition freeze on the U of M.
Like, tuition freeze. They extended, banned the box.
I can unionize, like.
Yeah, you can unionize.
Are you a PCA?
Yeah, I'm PCA.
Exactly. So, like, now there are 20,000 PCAs around the state and child care workers.
The homeowner rights bill?
Yeah, like, that are, like, living in poverty and have no rights, and I can now move into the middle class. Homeowner Bill of Rights. People, like, have more rights to, like, fight back from the banks, you know? Like, as a woman, I, like, can get a free abortion from the state. Like, that's a big deal. If I'm, like, if I got raped and, like, you know what I mean? No, but I mean, that matters. That matters, you know? Like, that's a lot of shit. But the only... But the only stuff that really get covered, right, is same-sex marriage. So I feel like that doesn't necessarily accurately represent, like, all the things that happen and where the passion is at, because, like, we're all passionate about lots of stuff. It's just like that's what the media, like,
they wanted people. I think they tried to make it a distraction.